Welcome to today's explainer. We're about to meet the secret superheroes of grammar. You know, the words that hold our sentences together and really give them power. Get ready to meet conjunctions. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll figure out what conjunctions actually are. Then, we'll meet our three amazing superhero teams: the coordinating crew, the subordinating squad, and the powerful correlative pairs. And we'll wrap it all up with their most important rules. Alright, let's dive right in by talking about a problem you've probably seen before, maybe even in your own writing. I call it the case of the lonely sentences. So check this out. These grapes are fresh. These grapes are juicy. I mean, each sentence is okay on its own, but when you read them together, they just feel a little choppy, right? A bit short and, well, lonely. So the big question is, how do we fix this? How can we bring these two ideas together to make our writing flow better and sound way more connected? Well, the answer is a super connector, a special kind of word called a conjunction. You might also hear people call them linkers or connectors because, that's literally what they do. I think the absolute best way to picture them is as word bridges. They build this awesome connection from one idea to the next, and they combine your thoughts to make your sentences super strong and crystal clear. And these amazing word bridges, they're not all the same. Not at all. In fact, there are three main superhero teams of conjunctions, and each one has its own special power. And yep, we're going to meet all of them. So let's meet our very first team, the coordinating crew. Their whole mission is to join ideas that are equally important. This team's special power, it's all about balance. They connect parts of a sentence that have the same weight or importance. Kinda like connecting two main characters in a story. Now, each member of this crew has a really specific job. For instance, and just adds ideas together, but shows a contrast, or gives you a choice, and so explains a result. These guys are the everyday heroes of our sentences. Next up, let's meet the subordinating squad. These folks are specialists, and they handle a totally different kind of connection. Okay, so their job is to connect a main idea, one that totally makes sense all by itself, to a supporting idea that feels, well, a little incomplete on its own. Think of it like a lead superhero and their sidekick. That sidekick needs the hero to complete the mission. Take this sentence, for example. The bell rang. That's a complete thought, right? But what about as soon as I reach school? That part kinda leaves you hanging, doesn't it? The conjunction as soon as connects these two ideas by telling us when the bell rang. And this squad is so versatile. They can show all kinds of relationships between ideas, like when something happened, where it happened, why it happened, or even what would happen if something else took place. And finally, let's meet a really special team of connectors that are never ever seen apart. Get ready for the powerful correlative pairs. These are the dynamic duos of the conjunction world. They're pairs of words that always work together to join equal parts of a sentence. They're a total package deal. Let's see how they work. A pair like either or is perfect for giving someone a choice. And not only, but also is awesome for adding extra information with a little more oomph, showing that two things happened, not just one. Okay, so we've met all three teams, and now it's time for their most important rule. Because with great connecting power comes great punctuation responsibility. Here's the key. You gotta remember this one. When you use a coordinating conjunction like and, but, or so to connect two complete sentences, you need a comma right before it. That little comma is a huge signal to your reader. In this sentence, she wanted to go is a complete thought, and it started to rain is also a complete thought. See how that comma sits perfectly just before but? It separates the two main ideas while the conjunction links them. So clean and clear. But if you're just connecting two words or short phrases, you don't need the comma. For example, in Ravi and Sita arrive together, the and is just connecting two names, so you can leave that comma out. Super easy. Now let's circle all the way back to where we started. Remember our lonely sentences? With just one tiny conjunction, they're totally transformed. Instead of two choppy little bits, we have one smooth, elegant sentence. These grapes are fresh and juicy. Now that's the power of a super connector. So there you have it. You're basically an expert now on the three teams of conjunctions and their punctuation rules. So here's a final challenge for you. Go grab your favorite book and see how many of these sentence superheroes you can spot out in the wild. You'll be amazed how often you see them in action. We hope you have understood the topic well. For more content, explore EduRev app.